Magnus starts strong with pawn to e4, which is a classic opening move. It controls the center, so it gives him the flexibility to develop his pieces and set up a powerful attack later on. Vidit, though, responds with pawn to e5, going for a symmetrical setup and aiming to keep things balanced right from the start. Next, Magnus brings his knight out to f3. This not only develops his piece, but also attacks Vidit's e5 pawn, putting some early pressure on Black's setup. Vidit meets this calmly with knight to c6, defending the pawn and developing his knight at the same time. And here's where things start to get interesting. Magnus moves his bishop to c4, focusing on Black's f7 square, the weakest point in Black's camp, especially in the opening. Vidit, however, mirrors him by bringing out his own bishop to c5. So now both players are in a similar position, and they're both ready to attack and defend at the same time. But Magnus isn't done just yet. On move 4, he decides to up the tension by pushing his pawn to d4. This move directly challenges Vidit's pawn on e5 and opens up the center, which could allow Magnus's pieces to become more active. Vidit decides to capture the pawn with pawn takes d4, maintaining symmetry, but this capture also leaves the center slightly more open. And now, Magnus makes a bold and aggressive move, knight to g5. By jumping his knight to g5, he's threatening a powerful attack on f7, aiming for a potential fork on the queen and rook. So if Vidit does not respond carefully here, this could quickly turn into a dangerous position for Black. With the bishop and knight both targeting f7, Magnus is setting up an aggressive plan. But here's a surprising twist. Just as the tension was building, Magnus suddenly offers a draw. It turns out Magnus wasn't feeling his best. He had a stomach ache during the game. So instead of pressing forward and risking a complicated battle in his condition, he decides to play it safe and splits the point with Vidit.